Hello, dear students and researchers. I am Mohammed Irfan Maksud, and today we are going to talk about the research and grant proposals, and we will talk the important tips on how to write a research proposal. It's a seventh topic of our research methodology series at Science Inside Academy. First of all, let's understand, do you like traveling? The world is very interesting. It's a much bigger place. It has several regions. We know Asian regions, the continents, the Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, America, Latin America, North America. And as a researcher or a student, you can travel to your favorite destination for free, fully funded, fully supported. Yes, we called it the opportunities to avail the travel grants. There are several travel grants which you can, if you have innovative ideas, innovative projects, social projects, you can get some these of the travel grants. For this, there is a website. It's known as opentravelgrants.com. There you can find a lot of the open grants which are right now for the specific purpose related to different disciplines. For example, in these pictures, you can see here there are some arts for the artists, especially those who have some innovative ideas or plans or projects to implement in the art sections. They can apply for these grants. Also, they list the trending opportunities where the people are looking for right now and they are applying. And you can travel as a for free as a student. So there are also some specific grants, as I mentioned here. Some ambassadors grants means some companies who are hiring for their ambassadors to visit the countries. For example, you are looking for your favorite destination is, suppose you want to go to the Latin America. Some companies, they are looking for some specific ambassadors who can go to the Latin America presenting their brands, presenting their services, presenting their products. So as a student, you can, or even a social community projects, and you can avail all these grants. For example, in this case of the ambassador grants, you can see what type of eligibilities they have and what kind of events you can organize or you can do. For example, in this case, there are some social engagement grants actually. It is a pharmacological engagement activities where you can organize some seminars, some talks, some networking events regarding the pharmacology, presenting some specific pharmacy, or you can say some specific the drugs or the medicines or the specific products which are coming in markets as well like this. So you can be the ambassadors of some pharma company, you can present their products, and you can be the ambassadors there, and you can travel all that time. So everything will be paid. Why do you need for a successful grant applications? When we say these grants, the many peoples they are applying right now. So there is a great competitions, and when you are applying for a grant, you should have some connections. Means connections in everywhere in countries in the destinations of your the favorite destinations. You should have complete plans or what you want to do there, what you can do there, because these are not just the tourism kind of grants. These are some project-based grants, and you have to do some project. And so, when it comes to a project, then you should have a plan there. What type of innovations are you having in that disciplines or in that field and regarding your projects? So, for all these things, you should write in a creative way. You need a creative writing proposals to present all these the demands of the grant proposals. For example, the professors Kate Vieira, he said from the University of Washington, he said, the grant proposal writing is a creative process akin to the fiction writing because it's just like the imaginations. You are imagining, for example, yes, I have these skills, I have these connections, this is my plans, these are some innovations which I can present, and I can present all these for your company or for your brand or the whatever the requirement is like the activities. So we can define that a grant proposal actually is a kind of application to request money. So when you are going to receive some monies, so you should have some innovative ideas. some research-based project, or even some social activities. So we call this as a grant proposals. Before writing your grant proposals, make sure that you have developed a specific, meaningful, actionable plan for what you want to do and why you want to do it. In this, you can show that, for examples, my passion is like this, my career objective aligns in this targets, and you are looking for some social activities in this way, you can help the society. So it should be linked with your own, with your innerness. It should be connected with you. Also, you should know, for example, what type of results you are going to achieve, what it would be the output of this plan, what you are going to execute. Also, then when you have these things, then go and find the organizations which are funding like these projects. And as I said, you can go open travel grant websites. There are several websites, hundreds of these. You can apply all these there, and also find out that which organizations which aligns with your plans and what are their purposes. Even some organizations, they are not posting the travel grants, but when you think that, for examples, I can work for the ABC company, and ABC company is doing a very good job, but they skipped this specific things which I have in my innovative ideas, my projects, then you can write a proposals and send to their event managers or some marketing managers that I have such kind of proposals for you, and I can execute also. I need this kind of fundings. And also see what kind of guidelines the organization is looking for. So you write exactly what they are looking for. You present exactly what they are in need, and then you even you can see some sample proposals for this purpose. So you can write a very excellent grant proposal. When you start writing the grant proposals, first of all, you ask yourselves that who is your audience? What are you going to do there? Who will be your listeners? Because the audience is very important when it comes to travel grant, especially when it comes to a general grant for any type of money. For example, a foundations or company is giving, they are interested at who are going to listen or who are going to see these projects or their, this is their products. What type of expectations are you looking for from this grants? Are you just looking for money to travel, or you want to achieve something socially, or you want to achieve something culturally, or something scientifically? So all these things, all these expectations, you should consider in your mind. Also, you should have a credibility. You should develop a credibility. For example, when you have you are imagining that it's your first times. Before applying for a big grant, you have to start from a small grant so that you can develop a credibility of executing some projects. Also, you have to present your plans very well. So you have to everything in your plan should be clear and logically executables. Grant proposals, actually, when we say grant proposal, it is a very direct and to the point. Usually they are 2 to 3 page. And this is not a place, for example, where you can write some kind of flowery sentences like, yes, your company will have this, I can do this company. Not like these things. You have to write that what you can achieve from this. What are these benefits? How this project is linked to you, your futures, your careers, and how this project is linked or aligned with the company or the organizations where you are going to apply for the grant. Uh, to understand, when before writing this, you have to understand there are some common elements of a grant proposals. For example, the first, you should write some abstract or executive summary as a short overview. Then you have to find out the problems or the need, means what a statement of the problem, a statement of the need. Also, you have to do some literature review for this in this, that the specific groups or companies, they have performed this kind of projects. Also, you have to describe your projects. What are the project narratives? What are the goals? What are the objectives? The methodologies, the strategies and tactics you are going to execute this. What type of budgets are you looking for all type of resources? For example, so you can write that I'm going to organize a community project or a social project for the students and the schools or the college where I'm going. They will provide me all the basic resources. They will provide me the conference room. They will provide me the availability of students, marketing tools, everything. But what I need to travel there. I need to support myself. I need to have some models or some sample products so I can present the projects and I can execute the project. So in this way, you have to define all the budget resources. And in many grant proposals, there are some other requirements also. For example, they are looking for specific motivational cover letters. What type of qualifications do you have, or any other type of supportive documents that it can support the applications. So these are the five basic common elements of a grant proposals. Two, when you have drafted your proposals, you understand that the proposal is not you just sending it and you are getting the money or it's going to be rejected. It's a long process. For example, when you are writing these in this on the left side, you can see these are all steps which you need to follow before submitting a proposals. Mean you have to identify the needs and focus. You have to find the prospective grants, then you have to develop a proposals and a budget plans. Then you can apply directly the proposal for the proposals, for example, which you have prepared, or also you can have some letter of inquiries, you some information, some assessments, pre-works, and then when it is ready, then you can submit the proposals before the deadline. When the agency receives your proposals, then usually they review your proposals, and then after that, either they award you, and then or either they do some negotiations or they accept or reject it. So when they accept it, then you have to carry out the projects, and then you have to write a final report. And if they rejected it, then again you have to improve the grant, and for next round of the grant application, then again you can apply these things. So this is a complete process from starting to the submit to the writing of report, project report. There are five general tips when you are writing a grant proposals. First of all, pay attention to the funding agency's key interest because it's very important. This is the agency which is going to pay the money. So your project should be aligned with their key interest. You should organize the ideas in a number list. For example, one idea, two idea, three idea, four idea, five idea, and you have to present that these are the different type of priorities. Also, you have to customize the proposals very carefully. Each and everything should be precise and concise, and also your proposal should define the, as we mentioned earlier, as in a common point, that what type of size of the fundings you are looking for. How much money do you need? How much support do you need? And then you have to apply on all this. And the most important things, and the last things, never give up. Always keep on writing, submitting, improving, editing, writing, submitting. This is the key to win all the grants. So the second things that we are going to talk is about our research proposals. Research proposal actually is a type of comprehensive grant proposals to perform a specific scientific research. The research proposals are not for travel grants. Research proposals are not for social activity. These are to perform a scientific research. The scientific research is going to be a lab-based research. It could be a data analysis. It could be the social research. It could be the organizational or management research. So there should be, or even a market research, there should be. So you have to write a research proposal. There's also a grant proposal. On the same website which we talked about, the Open Travel Grant, you can find out some other research fellowship programs. For example, they have some requirements. Remember one thing, mostly these grants, the research fellowships or the research grants, they are usually for PhD students or the PhD graduate and or for the early career researchers who are working on somewhere. or who are part of some research projects, or they are going to design a first project. For example, in this advertisement, you can see there, the Sultan Qaboos Culture Center is offering a research fellowships, especially also some, you have some affiliations of some other countries. This, for example, in this case, the affiliation is open only for the American university, the students of the American universities. It should be a PhD students. It should be, have all these things like the, as we discussed, the description of the projects, the literature reviews, the budgets, CVs, all the transcripts they have, also the letters of recommendations, and also that students should be working on a doctoral dissertations, and that doctoral dissertation should be related to some cultural activities to show that the student or the applicant is capable enough to execute our research. In these research fellowships, they also provide they explain the benefits. For example, the complete funding is $51,000, and the stipend is also up to the $51,000, which is this whole amount is for a stipend. Why we have to write our research proposals? What is the basic purpose of a research proposals? Research proposals actually to show you have a worthwhile research projects to undertake, and to demonstrate that you have the competence to complete that. For example, to complete this, for example, in this case, you are a PhD student, you are already doing doctoral dissertations. Also in this, you are going to discuss all the relevant aspects of a research process. And also you are going uh, when you are going to present your, it means that yes, the other people can evaluate, I can evaluate their research papers, and also you are under some kind of supervision process. You should have some experience under like this. For example, you are working, or you are working under some supervisors, or you are a supervisor, so you have all these stuffs with you. And also it can provide you a gateway to the new opportunities, because when you are executing a research, for example, in this case it's a $51,000, this happened, it's a 1 year that you will spend there. After 1 year you will find out the more opportunities in the same institute, and so you are opening the new opportunities, the door of the new opportunities. The research proposals, as I said, usually they are 2 and 3 pages. They have some basic component as we discussed. In this, we have a sample of a research proposals. For example, there is a title of a research, which is mentioned here. It should have some objectives, 2 and 3. Usually, it's more than enough. Some basic introductions on literature review, as we discussed, that why, where you have to discuss some big backgrounds at why it is important, the projects, and is it the feasibility, is it possible to execute that research projects? And also you have to identify some criteria that how you are going to do this, what is your targeted audience. And these are all the basic components. For every type of research proposals, you can have some different headings, as in this case, for example, how you describe how the proposed sample groups will be formulated. You have to indicate clearly what type of involvement of the sample groups will be in the research process. Also, you have to specify the consent of the participants, because it is a health related where the humans are involved. So you should have the consent in the medicines. Also, the potential risk you have to discuss. Also, how you are making all the confidentiality of the subjects, and you have to explain all these things. So these are some basic components of our research proposals. To execute our research proposals, to write our research proposals, how you can find out some good ideas. For this, you have to turn to the literatures. You have to read the literature review. You have to go for literature review. You have to read 10 to hundreds of the papers relating to your area of interest. Also, you can have some ideas from the courses which you have attended, and also you can participate in research discussions. Also, you can see some newspapers that what the recent discoveries are going on. You can read some newspapers, the scientific newspapers, academic newspapers. You can read some science magazines and to get some ideas. To start writing a research proposal, the first thing is that learn more about research methods. What type of methods are there? How you are going to develop some strategies to address all the components. Then you have to write very, very attractive titles. Guys, remember one thing, when you are presenting, when someone is evaluating your research proposal, the first impression is the last impression. The first impression is the titles. Your titles should be an attractive title. It should be concise, yet it is providing all the descriptive information which the evaluation committee or the boards or the review boards they are looking for. For example, your titles should be so attractive. After titles, first of all, they go for a summary, executive summary, or an abstract, which is usually about a 400 words. And in the 400 words, you have to summarize the complete project. So the first, second impressions, if they are enough that they got impressed, then they will do the critical reviews, and then means they are going to understand the more about you. So in their minds, they have taken decisions that, for example, yes, it's a good project to execute. Then you have to write a good introduction and literature review. In this, you have to use the background contents. You have to present the research questions. What type of research questions are? You have to write out down the all research problems, and also you have to mention your hypothesis. You also have to clarify the methodologies to perform the research. As I said, before starting this, before developing your strategies, you have to learn more about the research methods so you can clarify the methodologies, because this is which is going to confirm the approval of your grant. The titles and the abstracts are going to attract the review board committees, and the clarification of the methodologies is going to approve your research proposal. Then you have to propose a budget strategies and timelines when you are going to finish it. And also you have to discuss the focusing impacts. What kind of social economic impacts are there? What type of knowledge transfers, knowledge disseminations are these things? So we will type all these things also in details. An explanatory literature review is a literature which is justifying that your ideas are novel enough. It is based on the sources. You have to use the academic literatures or the gray literatures. You also have to identify what type of research gaps are you having there. You should be a critical thinker to identify the gaps, and then you write it that these things are skipped in the research and we can do like these things. You should develop how to integrate and synthesize the existing literatures and how to link all these things. Remember one thing again, so yeah, nothing is perfect. So you have to perform some issues that you are encountering this, and for example, how you will deal all the stuffs. In literature review, there are four C's in diamond. For example, the diamond should be the cutting, the color, the clarity, and the character rates. There are three C's in the research. For example, in research writing, it should be clear, coherent, and compelling as competitive. So you should focus on the macro details. Do not get caught up with the little details. Keep a big picture, and you should write and cite and cite and cite the most authentic literature. So you are citing is more authenticity it is giving to your research papers. When you finish your research proposals, always do the plagiarism checkings, because it is a serious academic offense. And also you have to set some parameters, for example, some geographical, some anthropologies in specific regions, for example, whatever you are going to do. The research questions are in research proposals are, for example, what you are going to accomplish. These are general questions. These are applied in all type of researches, from pure and applied sciences, from to social sciences, humanities, management sciences, in all. And is the goals of your research is the questions of the, for example, smarts like specific, measure, achievable, relevant, and time bound smart. Uh, your goals should be very specific. Your goals should be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound means you can execute all in times. Is this project which you are going to present is feasible? What's the scopes, the timings, the budget requirements, and also don't forget to include some socio-economic factors, the incomes, education, employment, and what role this proposal is going to play. There are several methodologies to conduct our research projects. Uh, First of all, you have to answer in when you are writing the research proposals or mentioning your methodologies, you have to answer all the 5 WH means who, what, when, where, why, and how. Your research proposal should revolve around these things. The methods must be well thought out and comprehensive. You should have a complete research designs. It should clarify while they are reading your papers that your research proposals that either it is a qualitative or quantitative or a mixed methods or you are going to apply it, what type of cross-sectional or longitudinal surveys you are going to do, what type of data you are going to analyze. For example, either it is a primary data or it is a secondary data, which you are going to analyze. If, for example, there is a primary data, what type of validations you are going to do this, what type of validity statistics are you going to apply, the procedures, for example, they should be the logical and sequential. You should include, you should describe, for example, the what you are including in your research proposals and what you are excluding. You should not say that like the assumes, I assume these things, I assume these things. Don't focus on this. Pay some attention on your being targeted, as we discussed there. You should describe the participants, the communities, the individual groups which they are, what type of materials are you using? So are there specific tools, instrument, or some kind of equipment? You should have some key questions also. For example, if you are not going to do this, for example, geography project, could someone else carry out the entire project? Then you also have to define the budgets. In budgets, all inclusives, everything should be included. There should not be anything left which is not explained because the budget, it means you are getting money and you are spending money. If something is missed and you are in need in futures, then it might create problem for you. For persons, you must factor in benefits, the vacation times, also the all type of cost you should mention. There should not be any kind of paddings because the persons who are evaluating they know the cost because they are from the research industry. They understand the research, and also you have to include all the travel costs in there, also the research money, the funding, the stipends you are paying, you should are you can include on all these things. The timelines should also be very clarifying. For example, in these timelines means when you are going to do every steps, when it is going to happen, what are the overlaps. Even you can use Gantt chart, which is a very good tools to present the timelines. In Gantt chart, you can divide the executions of your projects like this, and then you can define, for example, in 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, where you are going to perform the project, or even the months or the days. So when you are going in like this, for example, from days to weeks to month divisions, then everyone who is expert actually they are when they are evaluating it, then they can understand from this, yes, it is executable, it is a feasible, it is a good outcomes that we are going to have. So you can develop a Gantt charts to present all this stuff. The last important things, you should mention the outputs. What are the outputs and the impacts uh, of your proposals? For example, how this project is going to contribute in the science, knowledge, or in innovations. Why will you propose your proposals be chosen over other fundings? For example, it should be explaining very things, what type of impact your proposals can create, including economic, social, environmental, geographics. The more impact your proposals can have, it can ensure the more chances of your winnings. What type of knowledge translations it can have, the proposals as an output, what kind of knowledge dissemination it can have, and what kind of knowledge mobilizations it can have. So guys, thank you. Good luck for your research proposals. And anytime you have any questions, you can reach me on my social media at mmaksud. Also, you can write me any emails at info@mmaksud.com. And also You can visit my website for more information and my projects in www.hamidmaksud.com. Thank you and have a good proposal writing.